And we are back. It is week 6 time. We need to preview week 6, give our predictions. We hold ourselves accountable like we always do. And with me, once again, is Al. Of course, Al, how you doing? And are you ready for week 6?
I can't wait. I'm doing great. The week NFL started to look like the NFL in week 5, and hopefully that continues this week. And see how we do with our picks, man.
Yep. And by the way, once again, it's flying by again. It's already week 6. It seems like it's still just started, and it has not. It's been 6 weeks.
It's wild, man. That's wild. And with that in mind, because I forgot to do this right up front last week, let me give you the bye week teams. Um, we have Kansas City, Carolina. What does that say? The Vikings, and something I can't read. Oh, Miami. Kansas City, Carolina, Miami, and the Vikings. Sorry about that.
Something I can't read.
Oh, shoot. I love it. All right. Should we dive into the week or anything else you want to get into before that?
Let's dive in, man. I'm ready. You're going to take the hosting reins, so go right ahead.
Okay. Absolutely fascinating Thursday night game. 49ers at Seattle. Fascinating. What do you think?
It is very fascinating, like you said, but it's impossible to pick
I know.
because San Francisco has not looked right. They're on the road. It's in Seattle, which is tough to play. But then Seattle just lost at home to the Giants. But maybe the Giants are better than we think. I don't know
I'm with
what
you
to
on
make
all
of this
that.
game.
I am with you on all that. Well said.
Ah, I, I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Giants are better than we think. Seattle had a rough go of it. The Giants also got a blocked field goal or punt, one of those.
Yep.
So maybe they got, so Seattle might be a little better, but the same thing about San Francisco. I think maybe they're still getting their legs under them a little bit, and I still say they're a little bit of the better team overall. If they lose this, it's going to be reassessed time for San Francisco, but I'm going to go with them 23-17 Niners.
I love it. Okay. Okay. Now, we have our first difference of the week in the first game, and this was a tough one for me. I didn't know where to go here. I just have a hard time believing that one of the biggest home field advantages in the history of the NFL are going to lose twice in a row at home. Even though it was made very hard by the fact, I also have a very hard time seeing the 49ers go 2-4. So, which is where they'd be if they lost to Seattle this week. I was also a little surprised by the point spread. Did you see? Did you get a point spread on this one? Because I have -3 Niners.
I had Niners. I don't know if it was -3. I thought it was minus 2.5 or something,
Okay, so
but
we're in
right
the
around
ballpark.
there. Yeah,
So that surprised me a little bit. I thought it would be a little closer towards the Seattle side, but that's an interesting one. But yeah, I'm going Seattle 23-21.
nice, close one. We both have pretty close scores, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. That's one. That's a total coin flip. That's one that you're not surprised on who wins that at all.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that, 100%. No, nothing will coming out of there would surprise me. I'm with you.
Quick question: if it was in San Francisco, what would you pick Seattle still or no?
No, I definitely would have picked San Francisco. I almost picked San Francisco in Seattle, and I would probably not have almost picked Seattle in San Francisco.
Right. All right. What's next on the agenda?
Okay, here we go. So now we got another Sunday, and we have the king of all London participants, the Jaguars, in a quote unquote away game at the Bears in London.
Well, Jacksonville's playing a little better. I think they're going to be in every game and capable of winning a few here and there as we go. But I really love what I saw from Caleb Williams last week. I'm starting to get on board with Chicago. The reasons why we were excited about Chicago at the beginning of the year are starting to take shape, and I can't see them going backwards again after probably their best showing last week. I think they're going to move forward, if anything. So I got Chicago winning this one 27-20. Still giving some respect on Jacksonville that they're going to be in the game right to the end.
Yeah, that's interesting because at first I thought you were going the other way, and I was like, "Oh, we're going to have two differences in a row." But no, I'm with you. I wanted to go Jaguars on this because I want to give them because these London games are so weird. You know that we see teams just not
Right.
look like themselves. You know,
And also, they're like kind of the London team.
Well, I looked it up, man. Check this out. This is I never would have come up with this. This is their 11th game in London.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
incredible. The Bears have played. This will be the Bears' third game.
right. And that's about the average for everybody else, and they're
Yep.
11th.
Yep.
But so like they're kind of they're the away team, but it's kind of a home game because there's going to be more Jacksonville fans there by a lot, I would imagine.
100%. And their team is the people that have been on the team for a couple years are used to it more than any other team in the league. So I will not be surprised. Oh, and what was I didn't have the point spread. Do you have a point spread on this one?
I think it's Chicago by like I think it's two or something, 2.5. I can get it.
Yeah, that's cool. No worries. I just want to make sure the Bears are actually favored because if they are, then the Jags are going to be my upset pick.
Right. By the way, there's a lot of choices for the upset pick.
Yes, there are. Yes, there are. That's absolutely an accurate statement, my man.
I'm trying to pull up the odds now, but you can keep going if you want to
Okay,
move
cool,
on.
cool. So, did I give you my score 23-20 Bears?
You didn't give me. You told me Bears, not the score, so I got that now. All right. Um, by the way, the odds for this one: Bears by 2.5.
Okay, then I will take the Jags as my upset.
Okay.
That 11 time in London thing keeps sticking in my brain.
Yep. It's by the way, for my upset, I'm going to tell you who I put, but
Hmm.
in parentheses under the team I put, I also put Jacksonville, Jets, Dallas, Washington, Arizona, and New Orleans, all as
That's great. That's
possible
great. Yeah, so a few
upsets.
possibilities this week. Oh, that's awesome. All right, man. So let's move to Sunday at 1 and another very interesting NFC South game Buccaneers at Saints.
Buccaneers at Saints.
Oh, and one thing,
Okay.
real quick, Craig, I want to say we don't know right now if Derek Carr is playing in this game, and I have a caveat involving that issue.
Okay, I'm not going to have any caveat because I'm picking Tampa Bay regardless if the Derek Carr plays or not.
Okay.
If Tampa loses this one, it'll be reassess time for them. I still think they're a pretty good team. Um, Kind of waffling back and forth with them all year. Kind of thinking this year they were going to fall back again because the last year was it was like everything worked out for them, but then
Yeah.
they came out and looked good again. So it was like, oh, I was back on board, and now
Hmm.
they're kind of falling again. I don't know. I'm back and forth. I'm going to stick with them because I don't think New Orleans is that good either,
Yeah.
even at home. So I'm going Tampa Bay 24-20.
Okay, cool, cool. Well, I am going to this is just one of these things where I want to lean towards the home team because I'm not sure about either of these teams.
Right.
Um, if this was in Tampa, I'd pick the Tampa easily. The Saints, I'm picking a little more hesitantly, but I'm gonna. If Carr plays, I'm picking the Saints 27-23. If Derek Carr is out, I'm picking the Bucks 27-13.
27-23, and what was the second score?
27-13 Bucks with no Carr.
Okay. Let's make sure I have that right. Okay. Yeah, that's a perfectly reasonable caveat.
Right
Who is
on.
their backup? Is it James?
It, it was a guy I never heard of. I watched him
Oh,
play,
Tomlinson.
and I can't even remember his name after watching him play. I'd never heard of him before. I'll find it. But I don't know if he's a rookie, but he's definitely young, and he didn't look horrible, honestly. But he was, he's not Derek Carr. Um, what is your name, dude? It's no Jake Hayner.
Yeah, I never heard of him. That's right. I do remember that name and when
I
I
don't
was
know
looking at the
anything about that guy,
stats.
man. Good old
Yep.
Jake Hayner.
Good old Jake Hayner.
Jakey
All
could be
right.
from my turf and be Amish with a name like that.
Yeah.
Fresno. It was taken by the fourth round by the Saints in 2023.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see what Jake Hayner's got, possibly.
Yeah, we might. Although Derek Carr is infamous, at least to me, for being the soccer player of the NFL and how he reacts to his injuries.
Right. And
I've
then,
I've I've seen him look like his leg got shot off completely and then come back 3 plays later.
yeah.
All right. So that takes us to, oh man, I can't wait to watch this one, bud. Commanders at Ravens.
You want to talk about a crazy line? I have this is in Washington, right? Or no?
No, Baltimore.
In Baltimore. Even so, Baltimore is favored by 6.5.
Yeah, this tells you how they look at these two teams and what they've done. I expected when because I talked about this last week. Whenever I look at these, before I pull up the point spread, I always do one in my head. I
Right,
thought
right.
it was I thought it was going to be the Ravens by 4,
Yeah. Or
which
maybe I was
is
thinking even maybe possibly 3.5. But 6.5?
that was a surprise to me. And the way these things work, they're trying to get you to say, "Oh, that's crazy," so I'll take the Commanders' side, which means they really think the Ravens are going to win this game by that much.
Yeah.
That's fascinating to me. That surprised me. Now, here's this is the you know what? Let me shut the fuck up. Oh, gee, sorry, and and, and let you take this because I have something to talk about with this matchup when after you're done. But I'm gonna take my time with it.
Okay. All right. Well, this is Jaden Daniels probably his toughest test so far. Um but he's passed everything with flying colors up until this point. Um
No
to
doubt,
be
no
honest,
doubt.
he kind of models his game a lot like Lamar. Um, I'm going to say Baltimore because they're at home, but not by the 6.5 margin. I have a squeaker. I have Baltimore winning this game, but Washington is on such a high. They're on cloud nine, and they're kind of rolling at this point. So I can't see anybody beating them by a lot. So I got Baltimore winning 31-30. Absolute squeaker.
Love it, love it. Okay, so this is going to be a fascinating game, and it really plays into why I've picked the Ravens the last 2 weeks and been lucky enough to get it right. Is because anytime the Ravens play somebody with a subpar run defense, I'm going to be picking them. And this is another team with a subpar run defense. They are 22nd ranked run defense in yards per game, and that's one spot behind the Eagles, who aren't exactly locking down running backs either. So um, uh, I am going to take the Ravens, slightly bigger than you, but not bigger than that line, 31-26.
Right. That's yeah. This is where this game's going to end up in that range.
I can't wait to see. Now, if I'm right about Vegas being as smart as they are, the Ravens will win this game by at least 10 now. We'll
Right.
see.
Right. Right. We'll
I
see.
can't wait to find out because that line jumped out to me too. Okay, anything else on Ravens Commanders?
All set.
Okay. All right, here we go. Another interesting one. Cardinals at Packers.
Well, the Cardinals are one of the toughest teams to figure out.
Yeah, who are they? I don't know.
They really are. Um, but they're in Green Bay. Green Bay's at home. I do like where Green Bay's headed. I like how Green Bay's looked. Love his back. He's probably will have his feet under him a little better. Playing a little better. And they are, yeah, they're gonna. I got them winning this game, 33-21. I'll be surprised if Arizona gets this one done. Then I mean, these teams are kind of in the muck anyway. Although I think Green Bay's a little better, or at least on the upper end of the muck. But and Arizona's firmly in it.
Yeah.
But Green Bay will just go back to the pack with everybody else that's right in the middle of it. If they lose this game, I got them winning 33-21. And like we talked about, we expect Green Bay to really get moving here.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. The cards are fascinating. I don't know what to make of them. That's the one thing that makes this a little bit of a hard decision. But Packers being at home, I think they're a very good team, and they're going to, like we said earlier in the last week's review episode, that we both think they're going to be a tough out in the playoffs. So you don't lose these kind of games if you are what we think they are. So here we go, Packers 28-21, man. And let's see if the Cardinals can shake us one more time on what exactly they are.
Yet again.
Oh, man. All right, here we go. Next one. Not exactly the game I'd probably choose to watch this week. That would be the Colts at the Titans.
Yeah. Uh, wow. Some bland game here.
Yes.
Blandness.
Oh, and let me add real quick, Greg, before you do your thing. couple moving parts here. We don't know if Anthony Richardson or Flacco is starting, and we don't know if Mason Rudolph or Will Levis is starting. What we do know is the Titans coach has said if Will Levis is healthy, he's the guy. And if Anthony Richardson is healthy, the Colts have said he's the guy. So we just have to wait for injury reports, which we don't get this early because we're first.
All right. So I have a caveat.
I have
I
one too. I'm
think
curious if it's the same as mine.
I have the same. I have the Colts are in a much better position with Flacco as their QB. If Flacco is their QB, I think they win 30-20. And if Anthony Richardson is the quarterback, I have them losing 24-18.
Love it. Now, here's the fascinating thing. We're caveating this. I'm doing a different caveat. And I almost did the one you just did, but I decided not to. And I understand why you did it 100%. And I almost, like I said, I almost went that route. But here's what I'm doing. I'm picking the Colts 1913, no matter who starts for the Colts. And that is if Will Levis starts for the Titans. If Mason Rudolph starts for the Titans, I'm picking the Titans 1917.
Okay. This is going to be interesting.
We have caveated all over the place with this one.
Yeah,
Now, Dawson,
1917.
it's either Anthony Richardson leads the Colts to a win, or Will Levis leads the Titans to a win, and we both caveat ourselves right out of success.
That'll be what happens.
Totally, man, totally.
All
All right,
right.
I don't have anything else on that game. Do you?
No, I'm all set. I'm good.
All right, then we got the Texans going on the road to the Patriots this week.
Yeah, this should be ugly. It's what I'm thinking. I have Houston 30-13. I don't care
Nice.
if it's in New England.
Yeah.
Houston's a much better team. New England is starting to fall apart. They're starting to be who we thought they were, and I'm expecting Houston to roll them.
Yeah, man. And the only noteworthy thing on the Patriots side this week, which we mentioned on our last episode, is Drake May is the guy now, and that's going to
But
be
that might work against them.
it very well might, and it's going to just be interesting to watch. And I don't listen. I don't care who's starting for them unless they bring out a Hall of Famer out of retirement that's somehow back in his prime. And I'm taking the Texans 27-13. We were actually pretty close on this one, score wise.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I can't. There's no reasonable person making these predictions who's going to predict New England.
No chance. I mean, if Drake May goes in and plays like Jaden Daniels, that's their one hope. So let's see. But I don't think that's going to
Yeah,
happen.
I mean, there's too many unknowns, too many variables. Rookie quarterback. Let's see what we got before we start making predictions for him.
100% agree. 100% agree. All right. Well, and here come my birds back off a bye week. And listen, thank goodness they get to roll back in. Hopefully, with from what I understand, it sounds like Devontae Smith and Lane Johnson will be back from their concussions. I'm still not sure about AJ Brown. It sounded like it was encouraging that he would be back this week, but I don't know for sure. Um, but boy, is it nice coming off of this that they get the Browns. So Browns end at home. Browns at Eagles. What do you think about this one?
Well, yeah. I mean, listen. I think you would agree that if Philadelphia doesn't win this one and win it soundly, they're in more trouble than we're even realizing.
1,000,000% with you. If they don't look good in this game while winning, I agree with the way you phrased it. Because if they win 13-12 or 27-26, it doesn't make me feel much better about them. But if they don't win pretty convincingly, I don't feel good about this team.
Because the Browns are an absolute disaster right now.
They stink. They might be the worst. We've thrown this around a lot, and I haven't at least thrown it around with the Browns yet, but I'm going to now. They might be the worst team in the NFL.
They're in the discussion. They're right there with all the worst teams.
They really are.
Absolutely. So, and Philadelphia's at home.
Yes.
You got to go Eagles here. 28-12 is my score. You can't convince me that Cleveland's going to be able to keep this close. They're just getting rolled by everyone at this point. 28-12, Philadelphia off the snide, off the bye, getting a little healthier. There's no reason to think that they can't win this game pretty big.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you, and it shows in the point spread too because it's the biggest line of the week that I found anyway. -8.5 for the Birds. Um, Yeah, like anything other than a convincing win here is just bad, and I think they can do it, hopefully. So let's go, Eagles. And kind of close to yours, 27-13.
Yeah, and I could see it being like 28 to 6 or something, and Cleveland gets a gimme, garbage touchdown to make it 28, 13 like you have it.
No doubt. No doubt. Yeah, man, that's kind of what I was thinking. That's awesome. That's awesome.
28-13, you said?
27, I'm sorry, 27.
All right.
And
Okay, good.
by the way, side note, real quick, fun side note for fantasy. If anybody took Jake Elliott this year, they have learned the absolute peril of taking a field goal kicker that plays for the Eagles with Nick Sirianni, who wants to go for it on every fourth down ever.
Yes, he hasn't kicked that many.
Nope. Nope. Somehow he did last year. It just worked out, even with Sirianni going for it on fourth. But it doesn't happen every year with that coach. It's just it's hilarious. It's really weird. All right. Anyway, enough of that. So now we move on to the 4 o'clock games, and what a stinky mess this one is. Chargers at Broncos.
Yeah, I still don't believe in Denver, even though they're picking up a couple wins. And Bo Nix,
They're 3-2 now. By the way, somehow, how the hell did
yeah,
that happen?
I still think they're not a good team.
I agree.
uh, they win this. I'll start thinking that they are a little better than I've been thinking. But I
Mhm.
still think they're not very good, even though um, they're at home. I'm picking too many road teams. I'm gonna probably end up losing like 7 games this week. But I'm going Chargers, man. And I know Denver's actually the favorite as well. I don't care. I'm picking the upset here, not as my upset pick, but actually as my pick. Chargers over Broncos. And the score I have is 27-18. Um, I just don't believe in Denver yet. And Bo Nix had his best game, but it still wasn't that great of a game. It just wasn't a mess. So let's see a little more from them. But if they go to 4-2, it might be reassess time.
Yeah, I mean, this is arguably the worst 3-2 team I've ever seen in all my years of watching football. So I'm with you. I actually have the Chargers as a 1.5 point favorite. What do you have?
Oh, do you? Okay, I
Yeah,
thought they were the underdog. I could be wrong.
I wasn't sure. Like, well, I was a little surprised, but I wasn't stunned. You know what I mean?
I
Uh,
didn't look at it, so I mean I looked at it earlier, but I didn't look at it just now.
no worries.
Yeah, you're right. The Chargers are a favorite.
Yeah, which is that tells you what the world at large still thinks of the Broncos. You know what I mean? Because it's not like the Chargers are world beaters either.
Right.
So I'm going Chargers too, man. I am taking them on the road against the Broncos. I just can't see this Bronco team going 4-2. That's just insane to me. That's as nuts to me as the Bengals being 1-4 right now. So I guess it's possible. But I'm taking the Chargers, and I'm going real stinkfest, 13-9.
Yeah, it's going to be ugly. I have no interest in actually sitting down and watching it.
You're right there with you, my man. Right there with you.
Probably not going to watch it. I haven't watched much Denver this year at all.
No, no, and it just sounds like they're brutal to watch. I almost kind of want to watch one the same way I want to watch a car wreck, but that's
Right. I mean, I watched some highlights and I watched a highlight package or two
yeah,
of their game,
absolutely
but I haven't watched the game. Like,
same,
you know,
same. Because I rarely get the Broncos in my area unless they're playing somebody from Pennsylvania, Maryland, or you know DC. Um, but okay, now next game we get in what I'm thinking is a get right game: Steelers at Raiders.
okay. Well, another road team for me.
Hmm.
Um, well, we declared the Raiders stink last week, or yeah, in the other podcast, the review podcast.
Yep.
So a team that stinks even at home against a team that is pretty good, not great, uh, can win the way that they're supposed to win in this kind of a game. They got to keep it low. They got to run the ball. 17-10 is a typical Steelers game, and I think that's exactly what they can do to this Vegas team. 17-10 Pittsburgh. A lot of time of possession, a lot of running, and let the Raiders flounder and of course commit a ton of penalties.
Yeah, right. Absolutely, absolutely great, love it. Yeah, I'm pretty much with you. Yeah, this is the Steelers are a very solid team who had a pretty bad week, and I'm curious to see how they bounce back. This is the right team to have to bounce or to want to bounce back against. So I'm going Steelers 24-13. And I think this week, by the way, the Steelers coach already came out and said Fields is playing this week. So
Oh, okay. That's all
uh,
right. That's reassuring. I was a little worried that after last week they might go to Russell, but that's
I
good.
was too, and this is so. This game right here is big for Fields. It's
Yeah,
very big.
but yeah, if this is another stinker, that might be it. He might not start the week after next
I
week.
completely agree. If they lose to the Raiders, we're seeing Russell Wilson for sure. If he plays mediocre or worse, we still might see Russell. So I'm a Josh Fields guy. I'm rooting for him, but he left the door open after this game last week. So,
Yeah.
all right. Where are we going next here? Okay, we're going Falcons at Panthers.
35-17 Falcons. uh, you know, they're flying high right now. And wait a minute. I thought Carolina was off.
Oh, they are. Wait, where the hell did that come? I must have wrote something wrong. Hold on. Hold on. You are correct, sir. Whoa, what did I do?
No, wait, Carolina. This game is right. Carolina's not off.
What the hell did I come up with Carolina for the bye week? Hold on, I'll pull up the buys. What the hell did I do? Wait, so the Falcons are playing the Panthers.
Yes,
Okay.
but so that you said Kansas City, Carolina. Oh no, you didn't. No, you didn't. My C's and my L's. The Rams.
Oh, geez, because that's so funny because I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, I did say Carolina because I wrote LAR.
Right, but if you kind of
It
take
looks
off
like a
the top of the
CAR.
L, it looks like a CAR.
Yeah, and when you said it, I was looking. Oh, that's so funny, man. That's so funny. Well, we obviously have the same bad handwriting. Nice. That's
All
awesome.
right. Kansas City, Rams, Minnesota, Miami. Those are the buys. Carolina is playing, and they are going to lose to Atlanta 35-17. Another freaking road team.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's astonishing the amount of road teams we're picking this week. And I'm with you. And interestingly enough, my score is 33-17.
Yeah, I mean, are we not giving enough to Carolina? I don't think so. I think Atlanta's playing that well now. In Atlanta, they can really take off now. I can totally see that.
I agree. I think this is the Atlanta that I think they might even be better than I thought now coming by the end of the season. Like
Yes.
I picked them to win the division, but boy, it sure started looking like it was coming together. And I don't know how good their defense is. I mean, they just got torched by the Bucks, so I'm not really sure. But if their defense is even mediocre, I think this offense is going to be spectacular. So we'll see.
Right. They can win shootouts, that's for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, my man. So let's see. Here we go, bud. Go to town, and this could be game of the week right here. Lions at Cowboys.
I think it definitely is the game of the week. What's better, really? Seattle, San Francisco, maybe, but I would still put Detroit, Dallas over that. Um,
Maybe
wow,
Commanders Ravens. That's the other one I would put in
that's the
there.
other one that yeah, that they're all right in the same range. But regardless, either way, it's in that conversation. It's
No
definitely one
doubt.
of the games of the week,
No doubt.
and it's the latest one, so it's going to be the highlight when it does hit the air.
I'm glad I
Um,
get to watch it. I'll say that for sure.
yeah. Well, Dallas has not won at home yet,
That's wild.
and last year they didn't lose at home.
It's so
All
weird,
year,
man.
all season. They went the whole season and didn't lose at home till the playoffs. The actual regular season, they won at home every game.
So freaking strange.
And this year they're 0-2.
Yeah, what is it? What do we make of that? I don't know.
I don't know, but I think they're going to be 0-3 because Detroit should have beat them last year. First of all,
Hmm.
um, and Detroit is just a really really good team. They are, they're one of the favorites. They're my Super Bowl pick. You got to beat good teams if you're going to do it, even on the road. Dallas has not been able to get off the snide at home, so no reason to think they can do it against Detroit. I think Detroit wins, but a close one. Dallas isn't going to just roll over, even if they come out to a big lead. Seems like even when they get blown out and the game's kind of over, then you look at the end of the game score. They're always within like 10 points
Yeah.
or less somehow.
Yep.
But Detroit gets this win 26-24. That's the score I have here in a close
Love
one,
it.
like I said. Um, but I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas wins it. They could definitely do it. But if I got to pick, and I'm going with Detroit. I feel stronger about them winning this game than Dallas.
Yeah, it's funny. I agree with almost everything you said. Excuse me. The Cowboys' big issue early on was their run defense. Right, they were getting hammered, and it's been a lot better the last couple weeks. But they've done it against the Giants, Devin Singletary, and the Steelers, Najee Harris, who aren't exactly tearing up the league. Um,
Right.
they are going to get tested this week because the Lions have the best run offense in football.
Well, that's another thing too. Is we don't even know who's going to be back yet for Dallas
Right?
on
Yeah,
defense.
I haven't heard anything about Micah Parsons yet. We know Lawrence isn't coming back; he's on the IR. So,
Right.
um,
So they're hamstrung a little bit. That's another reason why I think that you got to go with Detroit, in my opinion.
yeah, I agree, and I am going with Detroit also. And what was my score? What was your score again?
26-24.
Well, that's funny because I am going 27. Oh,
Hold on. Okay,
yep.
sorry, had a call, but we're
Yep.
back. We're
We're
back.
clear. All good.
I had 26-24 for Detroit. What'd you have?
I had 27-24.
Nice.
Nice. All right. Now, not game of the week to me, but this is one of the most intriguing games of the week to me, and that is Sunday night Bengals at Giants. What do you think of this one?
I I don't know.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I I'm inclined to pick the Giants, but I didn't. I went with Cincinnati because they're playing a lot better. They have more talent, but the Giants are playing well. Now they're at home. They are my upset pick.
Good one. Yep, that's a
The
good one.
Giants are my upset pick, but I'm going Cincinnati and I'm going 27-21, but I don't feel good about it. And I tell you what, if the Giants win this game, man, we're talking about reassessing what's going our whole division is upside down.
Completely. It would just melt my brain. It really would. Um, I am with you. I'm going Bengals. The Bengals just played one a team that I think is going to be tough out in the playoffs to a 30 what was it 37-34 overtime game. So um, they are playing a lot better, even though it hasn't shown in the standings. And Joe Burrow, whatever worry about that wrist injury, is long gone after that game last week. So
Yeah.
I am taking the Bengals. Again, I'm nervous about it because I don't know what the heck is up with these Giants. I'm still not sure. I don't believe yet, but I also don't believe they were as bad as I thought they were a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to go Bengals 20-23.
20-23. All right.
Okay. And another fascinating game with team with their new coach, Bills at Jets.
Well, everything points to the Bills winning this game, and that's why I'm picking the Jets.
Yeah, I almost did the same thing. That's awesome.
um, that first game with the new coach, it might not work too much, too well moving forward, but that first game always seems to fire up a team. I would love to know what the record is of teams, not complete garbage teams that are pretty good that have a coaching change, like the Jets. There's probably not too many examples of it. The Raiders last year got off to a nice start after Pierce took over, and I think the Jets are definitely better than that. And the Bills are starting to come back to the pack a little bit. Bills have lost two in a row now. That as good as they looked earlier on, they're not now. They're looking a little bit kind of how we thought at the beginning of the year. They're still a pretty good team, but not a big juggernaut like they and that's how we thought about them coming into the season, and then they looked great, and we thought, well, maybe they are going to be that juggernaut. But now they lost two in a row. They looked bad this past week. Josh Allen 9 for 30. I mean, come on,
That's insane, man.
right?
Insane.
So I'm going to go Jets on the upset, and I'm going to go 20-17, close one.
Okay. Very cool. I totally understand. Now, I am caveating. And the reason I'm caveating, I am going to pick the Bills if Khalil Shakir plays. If Khalil Shakir is out, I am taking the Jets. And the reason I'm doing that is because Khalil Shakir was out last week and Josh Allen regressed to Tim Tebow. So I am I apparently that was a lot bigger deal than anybody I think suspected, and so I'm gonna ride that train. I also made I also was sitting down to do this last night before the news about Salah, and that could get that new coach bump too. So anyway, here's what I'm doing: Bills win 26-20 if Khalil Shakir starts the game. Jets win 26-20 if Shakir does not start.
The Jets always seem to play well against Buffalo. I mean, last year with Zach Wilson, they beat him, and that was the game. That was the first game of the year with when Rodgers got hurt. So I mean, they were
That's
really
right.
stung. They were stung by that. Rodgers gets hurt plays in. Zach Wilson takes over, and they win the game.
That's right. That's right. There's a really interesting facet to this game that I'm curious to see how it plays out too. Is which is the Bills have the worst run defense in football right now. But the Jets have shown zero interest in taking advantage of their run game.
Well, they haven't. Yeah, they have not been able to get the run game going at all, which doesn't make any sense when you got Brees Hall. Maybe this is the game where they start taking off with that a little more. I mean, they're probably. Well, the thing is, Salah was more of a defensive guy, so I don't know how much the offense is going to change, if at all. So probably not actually. Now that I think about it more. Um,
Yeah, I think you're right.
Now, is there any chance Devontae Adams goes there like today or tonight?
Absolutely, it could happen this week, man. Like that. That is the one thing that seems certain is that trade is going to get done.
Right.
Um, it's just a question of how, like, when. And to me, all these NFL teams want to get it done as quick as possible because it is not easy to integrate a receiver into an offense midseason. It is not. And
Right,
Devontae,
but Devontae Adams would not need to get integrated to this system
and that's why that trade makes so much sense. It also makes
because
sense for him to go to the Saints because he had that rapport with Derek Carr.
right,
Um,
but he's got it's the system he knows. It's Hackett, who he knows obviously, and Rogers. So he
makes
might
a
be
ton of
able to
sense.
integrate quickly with this team.
It makes a ton of sense. And so yeah, it would not surprise me if that happens this week at all. It
Do
would. I don't.
you want a caveat about that trade?
No, I'm not going to because I don't think it'll make that much of a difference in this first week there.
Okay, I agree, and it might not even get done. Who knows?
Right. Yeah. No, I'm with you though.
It
That's a
might
good
get done
question.
next week. Might get but either way, very interesting. That's our week. What is it now? Week 6. Yeah, week 6
Yeah, week
preview.
6. Holy crap.
We're already there somehow. I don't get it, but we are.
Do you have time for a couple quick true and falses?
Let's go.
All right. Here's my favorite one. I still believe Caleb Williams will be better than Jaden Daniels when it's all said and done. 10
Fa-
years, 20, 15 years from now.
False.
Okay. Okay. I don't know my answer to that. I'm still in debate. And here's a perfect example of why I can't make a decision yet. 2012, number 1 overall pick, Andrew Luck. Number 2 overall pick, RG3. Do you remember their rookie years?
Unbelievable.
RG3 was 10 times better than Luck. RG3 had a passer rating of 102. Andrew Luck threw 23 touchdowns and 17 interceptions. It is. It looked like RG3 was going to be the second coming of everything. And Andrew Luck, it was a promising rookie season, but it was rocky. He threw a ton of picks.
Wait. Okay, sorry. I got another call. Just go back 5 seconds.
No worries, no worries. So I was just saying how the difference between Andrew Luck and Robert Griffin III's rookie seasons. Robert Griffin won the Rookie of the Year. He was better than Luck by far. It looked like he was going to be the next great thing. And we all know how that turned out. It did not turn out well. Andrew Luck looked pretty good. It was a promising rookie season, but it wasn't anything like for the ages by any means. It wasn't as bad as Peyton Manning's. It wasn't as good as RG3's or even close. They were separated by 30 points in quarterback rating. And we know who ended up having the better career in the end, and it was Andrew Luck by far. So I'm just saying, even 16 games in, or back then, or 17 games in now, is still not enough to say for sure. I'm just fascinated by that little comparison there.
I totally agree, and I could totally be wrong, and I could totally see that happening in favor of Caleb Williams. But if gun to my head, and I had to make a choice, I got to go with what I know so far, and what I know so far is Jaden Daniels looks better. Looks amazing.
Yeah, and I'm with you. If I had to pick right now, I'd have to take Daniels too. But it's interesting because he's another skinny running quarterback. Now Lamar Jackson has made an interesting career out of that. Some guys, Vic was hurt all the time. Um, and Caleb Williams is built to take punishment a little more. I'm curious in the long run how it pans out. RG3's career flamed out because he got hurt in his knee and never recovered. So
Yep.
it's a fascinating conversation. And Caleb Williams having that week gave me the opening for it. So I just wanted to throw it out there. Okay, number two. The 49ers are no longer an NFC elite team. And by that, I mean they will end up with a top 2 seed.
Top 2 seed. Trying to think who else could take it.
Detroit,
I'm thinking.
Atlanta,
I think Detroit could get the number 1 seed.
whoever wins the NFC East, whoever that ends up being, maybe.
I guess I gotta go. True. They're not.
Yeah,
They're not that anymore. But I don't feel good about it. I could still see them doing it, but so far 5 games. Got to go with what you're seeing so far, and it's starting to take shape now, and they don't look good.
yeah, I agree. I'm with you. I think no, everything you said is perfect. I have to say false right now. I would also not be surprised if they pulled it together and started looking really good at some point this year. Yeah, cool. All right, we'll move right on from that. The next one I had, we already talked enough about. It was the Giants are not horrible, true or false, and I think we answered that for both of us.
Yeah, I say it with a sad clown emoji. They're not,
Yes, that's awesome. I'm so with you. Perfect, perfect, perfect,
because I
perfect.
want them to be, because it's just a better season when they are.
It's so
But
much more fun when the Giants stink. I'm so with you.
yeah, but we can't say they stink right now. We just
Nope.
can't.
I can't say the Giants stink, and I can't say Daniel Jones stinks right now. It's my
Right.
whole world is shaking.
And
All right.
that defense is for real, man.
Oh, it is that front is just going to keep them in games constantly. So,
That's
uh,
that's another reason is the defense is much more sustainable.
yeah,
It's always more sustainable. It's like speed in baseball and stuff. You can go through a slump, but you're always going to be fast.
that's perfect. Yep, that's perfect. Yeah,
So that defense is going to be more sustainable. So even if Jones regresses or has a bad game or something, they could still probably pull a few of these off. And I didn't have them as a dumpster fire to begin with. I was hoping they would be, or they would have 4 or 5 wins. But I think I said 7 or 8 for them. And now it's probably going to be more like 9 or 8.
yeah. I have no idea still with them. I really don't. I don't know. I'm not willing to go 500 with them yet. But
Right.
I wouldn't have said they'd be 2-3. So, and here we are with 2-3. 2-3 wouldn't have stunned me. 2-3 with Daniel Jones playing decently. That's the surprise to me. So,
Well, and one of those two in Seattle on the road, Seattle on the road.
yeah, that was an astonishing win. That was a big boy win right there. No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So
All
we'll
right.
have to see.
Last one. And they talked about this on the broadcast a little bit last night. So I already have my answer. But here's the true or false. The Chiefs will not add a significant wide receiver. And what I mean by that is they're not going to do anything. Anybody that is not it's not somebody just coming up from their practice squad that turns out to help them. We're not going to say that counts. You know what I mean? I'm talking about trading for a significant guy, not necessarily Devontae Adams, but a real NFL player.
But possibly with Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
They're
which
they're in,
I'd do everything I could if I were them to pull that off. But yeah,
right. They're in the conversation for that, as far as I know. But so it's true or false they will not, or true or false they will.
how did I say it? They will not.
I'm gonna say it's true.
Yeah, I agree.
They looked good last night. Looked better than they have, um and they Juju Smith-Schuster looks really good again. Um, and yeah, I think they're going to be. they're probably thinking we're going to be just fine. We don't need to do this. We didn't
Yeah.
have a receiver last year, and we won the whole thing.
Yeah, Andy Reid has really dug in his heels too. Like he has been vehement in the press about they are not they have exactly what they need. They don't need anything else. They were running 4 tight end sets last
I saw
night.
that. Yeah, there was a couple of times. It was a four tight end set. Like, what the heck?
Fascinating, man. And they look better than they had all season by far. So
Yeah.
maybe Andy. Listen, who am I to doubt Andy Reid? I mean, all last season I was like railing against them not going after a receiver, and they win the damn Super Bowl. So what the hell do I know? I mean, if Andy Reid thinks they don't need a receiver, maybe they don't need one. So I'm with you. I think the answer is true. I would still go after one personally, but I don't think they will.
Right. I would too. And you know what? Maybe they'll surprise us, but there's no reason to think it now.
Yeah, you never know. Sometimes that could just be Andy playing poker. But yeah, I think I'm with you. I'm gonna say that's not. They are not going to add a significant receiver.
Yep.
All right, my man. That's our true and false for the week. Then
Sorry, one last call, but anyway,
no worries.
yes, that is our true and false for the week, and that is our week 6 preview. We're all set.
Beautiful, man. Another crazy week in the NFL. I'm loving it.
I cannot wait to get going for week 7. And by the
Ah,
way, crazy that we're approaching the halfway point.
no, it goes so fast, man.
Yeah.
It really does. It blows my mind. Though, especially the older I get.
All right, guys. Remember, every week we do this 2 podcasts a week, a preview and a review. Make sure you guys check both of them out. And I'm all set to take off, Al. If you got anything else to add, go ahead.
No, I'm good to go, my man. Thank you again for another great week of talking football.
Perfect, perfect. Make sure you guys check out Perks Recap podcast, Perks Recap on YouTube for music reactions. Al gave me a great suggestion this week
Oh,
for Bella. What's the name?
Bella Fleck and the Flecktones.
Bella Fleck and the Flecktones. I reviewed the song "Sinister Minister." Very, very good. Uh, Make sure you guys check that out as well. And until next time, I will see you later.